Summertime is coming, leaves are swaying, one mountain time grows around the purple. Where you go, and we'll all grow together. Like a wild mountain thyme, all around the purple heaven. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love bower, foot of yonder fountain. On it I will offer all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme. All around the purple river, will you go, lassie, go? And if my true love she won't go, I will surely find another to pull a mountain thyme. All around the purple heaven, will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme. All around the purple heaven, will you go, lassie, go? Happy Wednesday! Hello, Philip, Anatoly, and Linda, and the rest. And Lucia, I got your package yesterday. I'm drinking the tea. Thank you, Lucia, for the Brazilian yerba mate with herbs. Fresh, not aged, not smoked. I once, there was a mate shop in Berlin, and I was friends with the folks there. And I almost went on a mate expedition in Brazil. They were going and invited me out there. Stuff's going on. Too much stuff going on to go at the time. That was a long time ago. But it's nice, mate, sometimes. It's nice to sing the old songs about springtime. That was an old song that lots of people sung. We've got another song a bit later. The weather's been changing. There's lots of green. The leaves are surely coming out. We could read. I was thinking about getting our last little chapter from the Book of Tea. I've been reading. I got some Anais Nin books a while back. This is some of her essays in favor of The Sensitive Man and Other Essays. I like to think of myself as a sensitive man. I need to read all the essays and see if I fit the stereotype. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Hello, Manuela. Sarah. We just unplugged. That means we're free. We could wander in the green, breezy leaves along the path. I love how the paths look. Like, all the green stuff doesn't really want to grow where you've been walking on the grass, where you've been walking on the ground and been patting it all down. So makes these beautiful paths. Oh, got the ugly wires in the path over there. Let's walk on this path. Look what we've got. Leaves grow so big. It's been a bit of a slow day so far. But I got to walk barefoot around. I put on some clothes for you all, getting ready. What do we have here? This is something that I'm gonna, maybe I'll have some, but I think I'm gonna give a lot of these to my neighbor. Look at these. It's the mushrooms. There's so many of them. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoa! Look at this one. Sheesh. Sheesh. Oh, I didn't even see this one before. Wow. This one basically. This one just about. This one. It's as big as my head. Look. When I saw mushroom head. My mushroom head. Poof. I don't know. I'm guessing. I think they like it where. I think they like places that used to have some fire. And maybe. I don't remember doing a fire around here. But lots of the morels, right? Those are the morels. Those are the ones you eat. And sound is unfortunately breaking up. Man, I'm gonna get back on the tasting tongue and hope the sound breaks up less. I'm kind of crippled with, I think, some of my infrastructure is indeed breaking down. I think my amplifier, my cellular amplification device may no longer be functioning. But I want to grab that mushroom again as a little friend. So I in fact went to a place this last weekend that had a lot of mushroom heads. There's a lot of mushroom heads. There's people dressed up just like these mushrooms. Actually, it was a foraging festival in the Northwest. It was called, I think it's called Folk and Forage, or Forage and Folk, or actually wasn't that much of a folk festival. There was a couple people playing folk music, but I think I'm having a little bit of a culture shock. I got some sap on my feet too. Smells good. Probably a good time to collect some. I didn't dress as a mushroom. I played music, not officially. I wasn't, and they didn't. There was a couple groups I would have considered folk, but I think I was actually helping I was doing burrito advertising for the burrito cart. We had fun. There was about there was a couple. There was like 200 or 300 people there, but I don't think people. I don't know if there's any more folk music festivals around anymore. Man, look how big this is in there. I feel a little bit curmudgeonly with my attitude to folk music. These young people today, they just don't know what folk music is. Back in my day, we played acoustic instruments with our hands. We played some old songs, maybe some new ones too. Anyways, I think maybe also the term festival has shifted over the generations. I think if anything is called a festival, I think it means that there's like loud electronic music is what's happening. All right, underground concert, musicians dressed as mushrooms. Mushroom King. And but there's lots of fun mushroom heads. Happy people. It was fun to be around all the happy mushroom heads. And there was some actual folk music around the fire and around the booths and stuff. And it was a happy time. Let's see, what else have we got to talk about? I don't know what tops this here, but this one I think needs to be washed. There's already spider webs on it. I should pick some of. I should get. Yeah, I definitely need to. It's so fascinating, all the little things in there. Maybe have to take some more pictures. Yeah, I think that would be interesting, like a real, like a folk festival where there was folk music, actually. If anyone has heard about anything like this on the West Coast, you can let me know. But as far as I've seen, when people advertise folk music, it's usually false advertising. Because and then everyone asks, what does it matter? What is folk music anyway? I don't know. Sound is a little bit better. The Great American Folk Show. I'll check it out. We've got a shaker. We're done with complaining for the day. We've had our little bit of complaining that we're done with. We played a folk song. That was Wild Mountain Time. Anyone heard people play that song? This is like on the inside of Mushroom. So I got lost in the inside of that mushroom there. They shifted the U.S. hardiness zones for the first time in 12 years. I'm going to have to check that out. Find out all about that. I think maybe I'm empty in the head enough I think we could read a little bit from the very end of the Book of Tea. I was trying to savor this end. I've probably read this last chapter like 5 times. I don't know. I remember that paragraph. Those of us who know not the secret of properly regulating our own existence on this tumultuous sea of foolish troubles which we call life, are constantly in a state of misery, while vainly trying to appear happy and contented. We stagger in the attempt to keep our moral equilibrium and see forerunners of the tempest in every cloud that floats on the horizon. Yet there is joy and beauty in the roll of the billows as they sweep outward toward eternity. Why not enter into their spirit, or like Li Tzu, ride upon the hurricane itself? He only who has lived with the beautiful can die beautifully. The last moments of the great tea masters were as full of exquisite refinement as had been their lives, seeking always to be in harmony with the great rhythm of the universe. They were ever prepared to enter the unknown. The last tea of Rikyu will stand forth forever as the acme of tragic grandeur. Long had been the friendship between Rikyu and the Taiko Hideyoshi, and high the estimation in which the great warrior held the tea master. But the friendship of a despot is ever a dangerous honor. It was an age rife with treachery, and men trusted not even their nearest kin. Rikyu was no servile courtier, and had often dared to differ in argument with his fierce patron, taking advantage of the coldness which had for some time existed between the Taiko and Rikyu. The enemies of the latter accused him of being implicated in a conspiracy to poison the despot. It was whispered to Hideyoshi that the fatal potion was to be administered to him with a cup of the green beverage prepared by the tea master. With Hideyoshi, suspicion was sufficient ground for instant execution, and there was no appeal from the will of the angry ruler. One privilege alone was granted to the condemned: the honor of dying by his own hand. On the day destined for his self-immolation, Rikyu invited his chief disciples to a last tea ceremony. Mournfully, at the appointed time, the guests met at the portico. As they look into the garden path, the trees seem to shudder, and in the rustling of their leaves are heard the whispers of homeless ghosts. Like solemn sentinels before the gates of Hades stand the gray stone lanterns. A wave of rare incense is wafted from the tea room. It is the summons which bids the guests to enter. One by one, they advance and take their places. In the tokonomo hangs a kakemono, a wonderful writing by an ancient monk dealing with the evanescence of all earthly things. The singing kettle, as it boils over the brazier, sounds like some cicada pouring forth his woes to departing summer. Soon the host enters the room. Each in turn is served with tea, and each in turn silently drains his cup. The host, last of all. According to established etiquette, the chief guest now asks permission to examine the tea equipage. Rikyu places the various articles before them with the kakemono. After all have expressed admiration of their beauty, Rikyu presents one of them to each of the assembled company as a souvenir. The bowl alone he keeps. Never again shall this cup, polluted by the lips of misfortune, be used by man. He speaks, and breaks the vessel into fragments. The ceremony is over. The guests with difficulty, restraining their tears, take their last farewell and leave the room. One only, the nearest and dearest, is requested to remain and witness the end. Rikyu then removes his tea gown and carefully folds it upon the mat, thereby disclosing the immaculate white death robe which it had hitherto concealed. Tenderly he gazes on the shining blade of the fatal dagger, and in exquisite verse thus addresses it. Welcome to thee, O sword of eternity, through Buddha and through Dharma alike, thou hast cleft thy way. With a smile upon his face, Rikyu passed forth into the unknown. There's an afterword. We could read the afterword sometime, but that's the end of the book. The Book of Tea by Kakuzo Okakura. Pretty serious indeed. We're gonna drink some tea, and we've still got some battery. We could wander around. We could wander around with our full phone battery. I'm feeling mildly lazy. I think I'll, get into it pretty soon. Oh, we need to pick up. Something fell off the, look how green everything is. This is what's amazing. Let's get the, okay, the water jug. Around here it's very green, but it's because of the shade. I've noticed in other neighboring places the sun has come to yellow the grass, and I think things are gonna get hot pretty soon. But the Witch's Hat recording studio is still green. That's still green. Yeah, we've got lots of butterflies. There they are. Flying around each other. Okay, let's make a wish. That's how you always win. Eat it. I didn't really eat it. What's the wish? What are you going to wish for? Ah. Got some lovely stone. All right. Let's sing a song. I've got a specially prepared song that was a request from last week. If anyone wants to request, I can hold over requests for next week. I'm going to have one more cup of tea before I get to work. This one's just got a little bit left. I'm going to get the water boiling. And I think today's going to be a day of finishing one thing. So to start on the next, more mushrooms. Lesson Kelly, thanks for stopping by. Listen to a bit of the Book of Tea. Hear a couple songs. And get to look at this giant morel. See, this might be the biggest one I've ever seen in person. It's still also very... Sometimes you see the giant ones and they're already past their prime. This one looks quite good. Alright. I like that request for Sleepless Search too. That would be fun to play that one again sometime. And I wish you all more mushrooms and a beautiful life. Come under the arching trees, and in the warm grass stretch at ease, where we taste the salt sea breeze and see the ships go by. See the ships go by. When the wind's so strong and free blows over my face, fresh from the sea, I forgetting all my care, here beneath these arching trees, where we breathe the salt sea breeze and watch the ships go by. Watch the ships go by. And they say all things must die. We are nothing, you and I, and all things are but dreams. Life is nothing, only seems, and yet this is real to me. How good it is to lie at ease under shade of arching trees, where we taste the salt sea breeze and let the ships drift by. Let the ships